قال الله Hawad La Yahawaba Shemyo Shaiba Shemakakadash. I will honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the four corners of this earth, pushing this word in truth, also in sincerity. Brother Manat is that once again here with us short impromptu video. Shalom. Alright. Um alright, so I'm gonna post this article in the group chat. It says Social Security. Well, as you know, down here in Trinidad, we do have something called Social Security. Closest thing we have to that is NIS, National Insurance, right? It says Social Security faces a 24% cut in 2032. That's a $345 billion hit to retirees nationwide, Watchdog says. It says Social Security is barreling towards 24%, toward a 24% across the board benefit cut in 2032. And it sounds like it's far, but it's 2026 right now. Right? It sounds like your time, to get your shit together. When in reality, you don't, because financially or economically, rather, you done down the fucking drain, bro. Things already hard as it is, and by the time you try to gather up or save up something, you had to use it. That's how the system is right now, right? It says that would slash $500 a month from the average retiree's check, a hit that totals about $345 billion a year nationwide, according to a first of its kind report from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. A Washington fiscal watchdog, yet as the fiscal cliff draws closer, the Trump administration is simultaneously pushing Wall Street-style Trump accounts and quietly reshaping the Social Security Administration in ways that already make it harder for millions to access disability benefits. You see? They're already making it harder, as of currently, that's what they're saying, to access benefits from the government, right? It says the group warns that without congressional action, no state would be spared from what it calls potentially devastating reductions, with roughly 60 million Americans, about one in six, directly affected. That includes 54 million retired workers and 9 million survivors and dependents. A looming 24% haircut. The CRFB warns that Social Security's main retirement trust fund is on track to be exhausted in 2032, at which point, by law, the program can only pay out what it collects in payroll taxes and other dedicated revenues. Without congressional action, that mechanical constraint would trigger an immediate 24% cut for every beneficiary, even current retirees who built their plans around the promise of full benefits. So we're talking about people who done work out the years. Retirees, they already fucking retired, bro. Or going to be retired by 2032. So by the time you think, all right, like the same thing with NIS down here, years ago, when the other party was in power, Keith probably was saying, well, had no money in NIS. By the time power forbid, Abba forbid, I live to see that age. Hopefully, I wish I returns now. This evening. Damn. Anyhow, right, if I do end up seeing the age of retirement and, after I've made all my contributions, as they say here in the article, I'm not sure to get my full, the full deal as promised. Right, and that goes to show that, hey, the system is only set up for the top tier, the heads, the elites to win or to reap benefits. At least in this kingdom, only they are allowed to reap the benefits. We work, we tire ourselves out, we give our lives trying to survive, and hey, they shaft us in the end. It says on paper, that's a line in an actuarial report. In practice, it's a pay cut bigger than the average retired household's food budget. CRFB calculates that the typical retiree would see their monthly check shrink by almost $500, more than they currently spend on groceries in a month, while total annual retirement benefits would fall by 345 billion, or about 1.1% of US gross domestic product, world GDP. It said the new state-by-state breakdown is part of CRFB's Tell the Truth About Social Security campaign, which seeks to raise awareness about Social Security's worsening finances and urges candidates to offer concrete plans to strengthen the program. With insolvency projected for 2032, the reckoning would likely occur within the terms of the next president and Congress elected in 2028, even if the current crop of politicians continues to punt. Yeah, so basically what it's saying is the same thing he probably told us down here years ago. How no money for retirees, basically in a nutshell. Right? To have nothing for us in this kingdom, you know? But we had to live. We had to live. So you know what? Can't tell a man don't go out and see about your fucking household, brother. See about your household. I think it's about a precept talking about. Let's know. Let's remember one word from it. I don't know. I'm gonna go something here. Let's, let's see. Down. Let's be able to. They first Timothy 5 and 8. Salakia. It says, but if any man provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Yeah. So I wouldn't put a brother in a position to deny your household. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you, hey, you don't go out there and work. You know? I don't go and, hey, sweat your bro. You know what I mean? Strength to your back, you will eat bread. Alright? Roughly paraphrasing. So go and lay your brow sweat and use the strength to your back. You know, this kind of way. But this system is set up for us to ultimately fail. You know what I mean? In the long run, we ain't our shit, bro. We ain't our shit. We don't have anything. It says Hebrews 13 and verse 14. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And that is who? Yahweh Shai. When he returns, when he establishes the new kingdom. That is the city we believe. We lean towards. That is the city we working so hard to see. Right? That is the cities we want to have treasures in, not this one. This one is bullshit. You just use this to get by. That is it, to survive. You know? And coming into the truth, hey, we don't really expect nothing from the government but to be shafted, you know? Excuse my French, but that is just what it is. That is all it is. They go into shaft here. They have to understand that. They will shaft here. And that is what they're doing. You know? That is exactly what they're doing. It's like, if you still have faith or belief or love for your government right now, you're already lost. You're doomed. You're already fucking doomed, bro. You know, you're already doomed. There was a precept that just come across my mind that I forgot. Ah, I think it's Revelation 22 and 3. Is it? Just bear with me. Oh no. Or is it 3? Oh, 21:12. Alright, cool. It says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be, as his work shall be. Alright? So basically what you work for is what you will get. And this reward is what? Place in the kingdom, for all we hard work. You know what I mean? For standing for the name of the Lord, for declaring his name in this world. Alright? The precept just came back to me. Matthew 10 and 38. It says, and he that taketh not his cross and follow it after me is not worthy of me. That is basically a burden. Your life becomes a burden. Right? When you see things for, surely, you know what I mean? Surely when you see things for what they are, it becomes strenuous. You know what I mean? Trying to have patience in this kingdom is one of the hardest things. But hey, scripture say, well, let patience have a perfect work. So, you know what? We going to endure. Your patience means what? To suffer in silence. So we will suffer in silence. We'll still herald the coming of the Lord. Sure about that. But hey, we will suffer here. And that's something you gotta grasp. That's something I have to understand. Ain't no evolving, for lack of better words, in this truth. If you don't understand, hey, you're gonna suffer here. Prepare your mind to suffer here. Alright? It says, verse 39, he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my name's sake, for my sake, Salakia, shall find it. Alright? So we intend to lose our lives for his sake. The sincere true men of the Lord. You know what I mean? Because hey, they already say if you don't subscribe to the digital ID, so on and so forth, you'd be an outcast. Hey shit, no worries, bro. Sign me up to be an outcast immediately, expeditiously. No problem. But no, in the kingdom to come, in the kingdom to come, in the city to come, the rewards that Yahushua is on his way with. It's no we go our first picks. Dibs, as did I say, we are dibs. Yeah. So yeah, this system is there's just another iteration of your government is not fair, basically, in a sense. You know? So I hope it was edifying, I hope it's back food for thought. I'm only Akiam, watching and listening. To the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, Bashem Gakdash. Until next time, Shalom.